Hi Scorpios, and welcome to your February 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to speak about your energy coming in for this month, which I think is very incredible. I'm really happy with what I'm seeing for you all. You're not quite out of the woods yet, I would say, on some of the experiences that you've been going through, but you are moving out of the woods, and you are moving into much kinder, more inspired, and more aspirational territory. So let's talk about it, Scorpios. Let's talk about what you're coming out of January, because I know some of us are still quite confused about what that was. So as I've been talking about for a lot of the signs, but you're right up there on this list of there's a degree coming from like late December of 2019 and into January 2020. There's a degree of like never again, or there's a degree of certain choices made or certain experiences that were very jarring or very jolting, and to a degree there's some amount of like never again that you have to maybe accept or exhale from that time. And also within that lies a huge blessing for you. You might have seen as a Scorpio that there was like this sort of like accidental sense of doing something that you were never meant to do, finding yourself in a situation that you didn't want to wonder upon, maybe even really good intentions bringing you to a sort of questionable area. I do sense that Scorpio is really kind of navigating the void or navigating in the darkness, and you kind of wonder upon, or you wondered upon something that was not what you wanted to find. So February to a degree is sorting that out and overcoming that and not being stuck in a cycle of basically wondering upon things that you don't want to find, feeling out of control in that way. And what I do really feel from your energy, Scorpio, is really good in the sense that it's like you wondered upon something or you discovered something that you didn't want to, and now you're making the appropriate steps and ascending above that. So with the completion of the pig year and moving into rat year, Scorpio sees really clearly that it can't just linger in like an indulgent sense of stagnation, okay? It's all about the senses this month. I keep saying the word sense because your senses are evolving here. Your senses are culminating into something new. You're going to start perceiving the world in a different way. And you might even see that there is a lack of consequences from before. Or you might have seen that something that you were really worried about would like punish you, or something that you were really worried would bring a negative consequence kind of disappeared a little bit. And now there's a test within that. The universe kind of tests. It's like, okay, you didn't get the consequence for this thing that you might have struggled with. Will you now rise to the challenge and not do that again, or not make those same mistakes? So there is a bit of a test here in February for you, Scorpio, of like, will you go back into some of those negative habits? Will you jump back into old cycles of self-sabotage, or old emotional patterns that don't give you anything, old patterns of not working well with your health? Will you do it is kind of the question here. If we were at never again in January, February is like, is it real? Will you actually abide by that? And that seems to me to be the most sort of suffocating thing that you were going through when it comes to like the heaviness of the Capricorn energy, because Capricorn's very heavy. Every sign has experienced some degree of heaviness throughout January of 2020. And then February is, how do we overcome it? How do we walk out of it? Because we move into Aquarius time, which is a really, really wonderful time for Scorpios typically. You can wrap things up here. I do sense new ambitions coming in for you all. Goals or ideas that you never thought that you would have can come in. You might see all of a sudden that you want to do something that you never liked before, or that was never a prominent aspect of your life, and all of a sudden it's all you're about. Watch out for that a little bit. You want to let those things come in delicately, or you want them to not just overtake you too much all of a sudden. And you want to build. It's like there's a slow building process that Scorpio excels in most right now. With the Capricorn, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, never will you do too well in just making sudden changes, sudden shifts. Some of you, though, do have the Uranus opposite in Taurus. Not all of you. So Scorpios who are, at the earlier Scorpio, October Scorpios or early November Scorpios may feel urges for sudden radical change. But Scorpios who are born past about like November 4th will not really be feeling that, and it will be more indicated to be building more slowly and solidly for Scorpios born past November 4th, and more radically and more sudden for Scorpios born before November 4th. What I'm feeling also is that you have everything that you need here, and you've kind of really started to amass some more energy in your life. So for those of you who've had chronic illness or struggled with any type of pain and suffering, that is it's like disintegrating, really. It's like falling away. So with that comes more energy, more time, more ability to take on new things, which goes hand in hand with this desire that you might have to take on something very new and very riveting. Try to keep it slow, though. Keep it snowballing. It's better to snowball in your case right now than it is to use everything at your disposal to make a sudden change right now. And that's what I feel for all Scorpios, even Scorpios affected by the Uranus energy. Because you are truly, not to gas up your ego or anything, Scorpio, but you are truly one of the most untouchable signs right now with the Capricorn energy. You and Pisces and Cancer, all the water signs, with the Capricorn energy, are really, and the earth signs to a degree, are really untouchable and really lucky and auspicious. It's an auspicious time, basically. It's not necessarily an easy time. It's auspicious, but it's not easy. Nothing about Capricorn energy, which follows you for this entire year, is easy, but it is auspicious, and it is enduring. Like your endurance is building up, basically. Also, to a degree, these new intentions that are coming for you guys, having the Magician and the Hierophant as two major arcana cards in your reading, you also have the Fool and the Devil, but I'm most interested in the Magician and the Hierophant right now. You're going to kind of be crowned with something. Your reputation may sort of be set in February, or what you're known for, what you do, what you work on is going to be set into place, at least at a soul and karmic level. So basically in February, Scorpios, this is really important, maybe the most important part of this reading. You want to be working towards something in February that you know is the long haul, or that you know is right for you. This isn't a month to waste time or to pass time with things that you will never really do anything on. You kind of become set in your actions this month. So if you've needed to make a change, if you've needed to move, if you need to change in career, that at least has to become accepted by you, even if you can't follow through on that action. Okay, I just said the word auction. So there is an auctioning energy for you guys, actually. So what does that mean? Maybe some of you are going to auctions, but more spiritually, I feel that you might be, watch out for being too materially oriented, okay? You could tend to auction off some really valuable things for less than they're worth if you're being too connected to money or too connected to monetary gain. So there is a degree of monetary success for you. It is there, but you want to get behind the monetization. You want to be in the action versus the monetization, and you want to be in the long-term structure versus the monetization. You might even see a bit of a pay cut or a bit of less resources than usual for having more health, more energy, more vitality, and more power in your life. That might come with a little bit of a pay cut, and that's interesting to see. And it's almost like if you just think of money, or if you just think of monetization, you are quite drained, okay? So lots of things pointing towards money this month. 7 of Pentacles, of course, but the Magician and the Hierophant, to me, represent that for you here too, and the Devil as well. So money addictions, all right? Needing to save a certain amount, even addictive saving, addictive spending, anything like that should just start to detach here, because that, before I get into the week-to-week Scorpio, that is your power card here in the month of February, is basically moving away from attachments and letting your path become a manifestation of your own power versus something that is addictively assembled by you beforehand. So that's an interesting thing to think about for you. 9 of Cups is your central theme this month. I'm going to start on that. So it's a lucky month. I won't lie to you guys. You guys have 8 of Cups and 9 of Cups. You've got 7, 8s, and 9s in your reading. So you are dealing with old things here. You are not dealing with new things in February, Scorpio. And that makes sense with the Western astrology as well. Despite being in a new Chinese sign in rat year, which we go from pig to rat, which is 12-1, which is a big new energy, we are still in February, which is Aquarius time. And we are waiting until Aries time to start over in the tropical system March 21st. I know that it sounds so complicated, but it's really not that complicated. Basically, what it means is there's a desire to have new things here, but it's not quite time yet. You want to wait till around March 21st, and you want to deal with things that have been on the table for a long time. The only newer energy that you have the Fool and the Magician, so in that way this month can be draining because you've, on one hand, in a minor sense, have to be dealing with all of these old things, all of these things you've been doing for a long time. And on a major sense, on a universal sense, you've got to be breathing in the new, and you've got to be setting the intention of the new and doing whatever it is that you want to see yourself be doing for the long time to come. So, but you'll be lucky in it, okay? And you'll have acceptance, and you'll also build important connections and important there's almost a diplomacy about your energy right now that is very good to do this year. So your entire month is wrapping around diplomacy and wrapping around connecting and socializing with other people in a diplomatic way. But let's start with the first week. 7 of Pentacles rooted down by the Magician in week number 1. I always like it when it lines up. So you have the Magician, which is a number 1 energy in the first week. So incredible new energy there. You will start to see how you can take what you've had for a long time. So the money that you've saved, the career you've been devoted to for a long time, the relationships you've had for a long time, can be reinvigorated and reborn into a new rewarding thing for you here. You might even see some type of capital investment, or if you've been saving up, this might be the time to fund the capital for the account for your new business, if you were an entrepreneur, for example. But on a non-monetary level, this is also going to be the reward for having prioritized health. You might really see that health problems really start to detach there, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing to see coming up for y'all, because I know since about 2018, your health has kind of been not the best since Jupiter was in your sign. And finally, maybe the steps that you've been taking since then start to really shine and start to really become a source of power for you. Week number 2, Scorpios, you have 8 of Swords rooted down by Knight of Wands. So the second week is a time where you don't want to be overdoing things. You're going to have a lot of new energy coming in, but if there's any old any old tendency to cover your eyes, to blind yourself, to self-sabotage, 8 of Swords, all that energy can go into that, and it can fund that. So you want to really make sure that you're not feeling too hard done by. Basically, there's something hard done by in that energy, and I think that you're much more powerful than that. I think that other things in this reading indicate to me that you are good in a lot of ways, and you are capable of really doing whatever you set. It's just like, what will you set, Scorpio? What will you set as your goal? What will you set as your intention? I mean, it's all very accomplishable. So I don't know why you're feeling so trapped in the second week. That said, I don't want to come off in a condescending way to you guys at all. I understand that there are old things that you're dealing with here. And the older that a problem becomes, the more confining it becomes, because it gets really set and entrenched. So you are in the second week dealing with an entrenched sense of maybe existentialism, and entrenched sense of entrapment to a degree, and you are creative enough to overcome that there. Knight of Wands is going to really teach you a lot. If there's any card, I mean, we have all these shiny, beautiful things here: the Magician, the Hierophant, the Fool, 9 of Cups. Learn from Knight of Wands this month, really. Meditate with that energy. It's more of an auspicious, optimistic, energized energy that is not afraid to figure out via creativity how to manage old problems. So it's a good problem-solving energy for you, and you'll be really clear on that wisdom in the second week. So meditate on it. Don't be too busy then. Exercise then as well. Week number 3, 8 of Cups rooted down by the Devil. So walking away from addiction, you could even see like an anniversary for having kicked an addiction during that time, and maybe even facing the next addiction, because it is true, over the last few years, Scorpio became one of the most addictive signs, and it is one of the signs that rules addiction. So it is typically, and again, addiction is more than we think sometimes. It's not just like alcohol or drugs or smoking or coffee. I mean, all of those can be addictions, but we can be very addicted to our sleep schedules, or very addicted to assuming that we can't do this thing or whatever that thing is. So I love Eight of Cups and the Devil together because to me that really indicates breaking the shackles or breaking away from something that was really ruling over you. So for some of you, this could be divorce. For some of you, this could be breaking up a relationship, finally ending something that had been going on for too long, finally drawing a boundary for some Scorpios, really, and feeling good and rewarded for that too. It's an interesting time to think about your boundaries during Aquarius season. And we're moving into Pisces during that third week. But you want to... I think that there is something about you, especially for the Scorpios with like Pisces placements or Scorpios with Cancer, really watery Scorpios. To a degree, you really adapt to what people need you to be. And to me, that feels to have really... disempowered you and sapped a lot of your energy. Adaptability is good, but you want to draw a boundary and you want to be clear to others what you can and can't do for them, because people might really be expecting too much. And that's why those addictions start to form, is you have to cope and you have to escape from it. And it becomes this never-ending cycle of living a mundane and unfulfilling life. So you're walking away from that in the third week, and I'm proud of you guys. And what you see as you walk away, isn't it incredible? If you just look at Eight of Cups in the third week, top card, and then you see the Hierophant, it almost looks like the Hierophant person who is like the red robe. And again, it may not be, but you've walked away from the devil energy and you've been crowned in the fourth week. You've been rewarded and you've been hierarchically supported in walking away from something. You walk away from something that is rewarding and something that does give to you, but is also creating bad burnout or bad addictive tendencies. You walk away from that and you're immediately crowned, and you start a new journey with the Fool rooting that down, and it's a supported journey. You've kind of reborn yourself in the last week of February. And as well, I'll be interested to see your reading in March as well, because I think that will be a very crucial time for you of how you choose to walk through life feeling reborn in that way. I could even see like a religious introduction for some of you in the fourth week. That won't be right for everybody, but the Hierophant is a religious, spiritual energy. I could also see using what you have at your disposal. So the Magician energy with like the Pentacles, the Cups, the Swords, the Wands, the money, the desire, the emotional strength, and the intelligence, using all of those things to create a new journey for yourself, combining it all. And that's an important lesson for this month as well, Scorpios. We're not hyper-focusing one area. There has to be a combining ability here, where we're taking all of our abilities and turning them into our own sense of power. And through that, the Hierophant grants us a key. What I love about the Hierophant is you've got the two keys crossed together in that energy. And you have to be careful about, again, operating in the ego, because you will get a sense of power there. And you want to stay humble, and you want to stay real to yourself for sure. But you will get a key in the fourth week. Some of you are either getting like a new key to a new house, a new key to a new car, or a new career path is opening up to you, or a new desire or goal is, you're getting the key to that. And I love that Nine of Cups is your central theme, because guess what Nine of Cups represents? It represents the gatekeeper. And sometimes with Nine of Cups, it can be like the gate is closed or locked, but you've got the key from the Hierophant. You've got the ability to walk towards the door with the Fool, and then you've got Nine of Cups as the central theme. So you know the password, you have the key to the gate. So basically, in a nutshell, Scorpios, February is the month of opening a new path for you. That's what it all comes down to. There are a few things you still have to deal with. There are a few old stories that you need to kind of wrap up. And to a degree, I think I can predict that the first half of March won't be like explosively changing. But by the latter half of March and moving into April, that's an interesting time for you, and a supported time of fitting in and being naturally acclimated to the environment around you. So welcome to that, Scorpio. You're making the steps of the path to get to the new path in February. Enjoy this time. If this reading resonated for you and you're new to my channel, I would so appreciate it if you'd hit the subscribe button. It's a great free way to support this video, as well as hitting the thumbs up. I'm so grateful for that. And be sure to check the description box below. I have a few slots available for private readings. If you're a Scorpio who would like to kind of understand how to get these keys a little bit more, and we can look individually at you, I will have some private readings available. Also, if you guys would be so kind as to follow me on Twitter, I'm doing daily updates over there throughout the month of February, so you can sort of get some quick notifications in that way too. It's all in the description box, though, Scorpios, everything else that I offer if you wanted to look around. I've got a lot of things. I have an ebook. I have, various things on my website, and it's all there. But thank you guys so much for being here and for your support. If you can just hit the subscribe button, I will be so grateful. Much love, Scorpio. Stay humble, stay in your power, and understand what you need to wrap up here. We will be talking soon. Much love. Bye.